Okay, so let's get into the cortisol stuff. 7 symptoms of high cortisol, which is chronic stress hormone overload. Number 1, stubborn belly fat, right? Stubborn belly fat is a sign of high cortisol. But why do you have high cortisol? Probably because you have insulin resistance. See what I'm getting at here? So cortisol signals fat storage, particularly visceral fat, even when calories are controlled. So you get that abundance of cortisol. You've got other things going on, probably a drop in testosterone or drop in estrogen as well. And just like sarcopenia in general, which is the muscle mass loss that happens as we get older. If you're not actively eating for protein in a protein-focused diet and you're not building muscle, well, this is what happens. And especially if we have chronic, situations in our life with high stress. Okay. So that's a sign that, okay, my hormones are out of balance, but keep in mind, we have the same remedy here. So it doesn't need to be this complicated. Okay. So stubborn belly fat. Okay. High cortisol. Number 2, constant fatigue, but a wired feeling. So, you're exhausted, yet you can't really relax. Maybe you find like you're like tense in your jaw, and then you're like purposefully like trying to relax, but you can't just like really like let go. That's chronic fight or flight syndrome. Okay. So you're exhausted, yet you can't relax. You can fall asleep or stay asleep. And this is classic tired, but wired. Okay, number 3, anxiety, irritability, and emotional reactivity. High cortisol keeps the nervous system stuck in fight or flight, and it's lowering your emotional resilience. So something that, 10 years ago, you would have been like, forget them. No big deal. Now you're like, oh, blah, you just like, you're very reactive. That happens slowly, but it builds over time. Okay. So that's a sign that you're got running high cortisol. Number 4, blood sugar swings and cravings. So do you have these like big crashes, right? Where cortisol raises glucose to fuel survival. Okay. And it often leads to these massive crashes. And of course you have cravings in this cycle. And also this is a part of insulin resistance as well. So fix your insulin resistance. You fix all this cortisol stuff as well. Poor sleep. So especially waking up between 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, like many of you are, cortisol should be lowest at night. And when it's high, sleep becomes shallow or fragmented. So you're releasing cortisol when you shouldn't be. Now, cortisol is not all bad. You need cortisol when you wake up in the morning to feel refreshed, to feel like, okay, let's get some energy and start the day. But when you're dumping cortisol like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, that's waking you up. And it's going into that mode of dumping cortisol because of the insulin resistance, because of the other hormones in your body as well. Digestive issues. So stress shuts down digestion. It just shuts it down. Okay, so if you're experiencing belching, bloating, reflux, like your belly's extended, constipation, or the opposite, loose stools or diarrhea, these are digestive issues that could be impacted from high cortisol levels. So carrying around a lot of emotional stuff can really impact digestive issues. So come up with a system, of being able to manage stress. Also, frequent illness or slow healing, right? You got a wound or something that just won't heal. This is often because you're dealing with insulin resistance, and then you have high levels of cortisol too. Cannot heal when you're in fight or flight. You cannot heal with this abundance of cortisol because the cortisol isn't concerned about you healing at that moment. Cortisol is so that you get your butt out of the way if a lion is chasing you, right? Cortisol is a stress hormone. It's meant to make you get up and get out of there. And it's not conducive with healing. right? It's not conducive with rest, relaxation, and healing. So we have to deal with that. Here's what you can do for high cortisol. Number one, regulate your nervous system, right? This would be the first thing. So nasal breathing, right? The breathing is important. Like, pay attention. Are you breathing shallow? Can you hold a breath in for a long time? Can you inhale smoothly, or is it choppy? Take a deep breath in and just pay attention to how you're able to move air through your lungs. Because if it's choppy and it's shallow, this is a good indicator that you're running high stress. Okay? So you can implement breathing, morning sunlight, which I always talk about, lowers cortisol, limit constant stimulation, right? So this portal that we get sucked into, the scroll hole, it's not helping the stress hormone. Okay, you want to get rid of belly fat, you want to feel more energetic, you've got to build systems into your daily lifestyle. Number two, stabilize blood sugar. Protein, I know I say it all the time. You're so sick of me saying it, but I can't. I just got to keep telling you. Protein, right? 1 gram of protein per pound of desired body weight. So healthy protein. Don't avoid, don't skip meals for there's a lot of people getting into this fasting thing of they're fasting 22 hours a day. And, maybe short term, that's a valuable tool, short term. But some people have been doing this now for years. And that is putting your body in starvation mode and creating a binge and deprivation cycle that even increases more cortisol in the body. Okay, which leads to all of these things that you don't want. So respond to your natural, urges to eat. Eat in a feasting window if you must. There's a lot of science now that suggests a 16-hour fast and an 8-hour eating window is the best thing to do. Any more than that, there's very little advancement from that. It's not that much more of an improvement. So don't punish yourself more than you have to. 8 hours of eating, healthy, balanced, high protein, healthy fat, voluminous plates of food. Okay? That'll stabilize blood sugar. Reduce refined carbohydrates just to get rid of them. They're killing you. Hate to be dramatic, but they ain't doing you any good in this scenario. So, maybe not forever, but dedicate yourself if you're going through something right now where you really need to restore your metabolic health. Get them out of your life for at least 90 days. And then you can revisit some of them from time to time. But the majority of the time, you want to be eating for your optimum health. You've got to fix your sleep. Consistent bedtime and wake up time. No screens 60 minutes before bed. Get a book. Get a book and read yourself to sleep instead of doom scrolling and getting sucked down the scroll hole. A dark and cool room that is conducive with good sleep. Train smart, not harder. Still a lot of people out there thinking they can cardio off and manage their weight being a cardio bunny. Getting on the treadmill and just running, getting tons of steps. And, I can't get this weight down. Doesn't matter how many miles I run, or you're abusing yourself at this point, and creating more cortisol. Training smart is building muscle. It's building muscle. You need muscle to mop up all that glucose and, help the body put that energy to use at the cellular level. You've got to build muscle, and instead of running, long time and do a couple sprints, sprinting 30 seconds, boom, bah, take off. That really charges up the metabolism. Making sure you're doing squats, because that is a valuable exercise. There's so much benefit to squats when it comes to, again, mopping up the glucose and making sure that your body is putting the energy to good use. So train smart. It's not about training harder, doing more. It's about training smarter. Make it matter, which resistance training is key. Walking, If you want to run a little bit, that's great for your cardiovascular health. I got to run for my mental health. It helps me work things out. I get ideas and all kinds of stuff when I'm running. So that's why I run. I don't run to manage weight or even necessarily for my metabolic health. It's more of a cardiovascular benefit. It's good for cardiovascular, and it's good for mental, your mental health. A repetitive motion. That's what I like about it. Support with nutrients. So magnesium, I prefer our magnesium on our partnered product line. I love it. It's actually a magnesium drink. I have it every day. I like to take it hot. It's glycinate and a blend of magnesium. Reduce your hidden stressors, right? Adaptogens, things like ashwagandha, right? That are helpful. Get yourself some uplift on the buy one, get free deal that's going on right now over at Naturally Inspired Store. That'll get you into the Naturally Inspired community. And we'd be so happy to have you. Thanks for joining me today. This has been Naturally Inspired Radio. We'll be back tomorrow. See you then.